Hi guys, and welcome back to the Canadian Glam Mam channel. Glam Mam here, and as you can see from the title, today's video is a Disney's Ursula from The Little Mermaid inspired tutorial. So if you'd like to see how I get this look right here, then keep on watching and make sure you click that subscribe button. Alright, let's get on to it. Alright guys, to start this look off, I'm going to be taking the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade 604 Milk, and I'm going to be using this to prime my eyelids. So just like always, I'm going to go really close to the lash line and just place this all on my lid. And today I'm going to use it and go a little bit higher because I am going to be cutting a new crease and bringing that purple color above the crease, so I want to make sure that my eyelid is nice and primed for that color. Now I was not thinking this through, and I did my foundation and everything first because I was thinking I'd be able to speed up the process of doing this so you guys aren't sitting watching a 45-minute video again, and I need to use the tape, so I'll show you how to fix that up after you use it. So now that my eyelid is all primed, I'm going to go ahead and use a pencil and mark out where I want that purple shadow to lay. So for that, I'm going to be using the Pencil Me in Eye Accent Pencil in Purple Passion. This is the one that I received in the Lip Monthly bag. So I'm going to start on the inner corner, and I'm going to keep my eye open and mark out just lightly where I want that purple shadow to lay. Once I get to the outer corner, I want a nice and dramatic line, so I'm going to bring that down till it meets the lash line. So I've marked out, I'm hoping you guys can see that really lightly, of where I want that purple shadow to lay. Next, I'm going to be taking some Scotch tape. And because I have foundation on, I'm not going to be taking off the excess adhesive on it because it won't stick as well, so I'm going to just take it the way it is, and I'm going to place that right on the outer corner in a line up to my eyebrow, and then just press that down like so. And for my purple shadow, I'm going to be working with a product that I just picked up recently in one of the haul videos. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo by iStudio color for the 24-hour eyeshadow, and this is in the shade 20 Painted Purple. So it looks, take that off. It looks like this. Now the only recommendation I can make when you're working with these cream type shadows is that you work relatively quickly, and when you're done using it, even if you have to stop and grab something else, to put the lid on because they will dry out very quickly. So I'm going to be taking my brush as soon as I can find it here. And for this, I find that a flat angled definer brush works the best to really mark out where you want the shadow. So I'm just going to be picking some of that up on this brush and going right over top of that line that we just laid. I'm going to start at the inner corner and work in small strokes backwards. And I want this really defined and crisp. So just work in small brush strokes so that you can get a really defined, I'm just making sure that it's at the right level. Hopefully I'm still in the view. Placing that right over, and then just bringing this right in to the lash line. Now, I was thinking this shadow was going to be a lot more bold when I first used it because it looks really bold in the pot itself, but it is a lot lighter, so you do need to do this quite a few times to get a defined shadow color. I think I probably should have used something like the Infallible shadows, which I know work really well and are really pigmented, but this is what I had, and I wanted to use it. Overall, I do like this, but it does take a lot more of the product than I anticipated to start with. So after I go over it the second time, you can see that once you go over it once or twice, it does start to build a lot more color. And it pays off a lot better. So now that I've got this defined, like the other side, I'm going to be, you can close this up and set it away because you won't be needing it anymore. I'm going to be grabbing that new Coscelia 168 shadow palette. I'm going to be working with the bolder side, like the more colorful side that looks like this. And I'm only going to be using three shadows out of this palette, so I'll show you them now so I don't have to do this again. So I'm going to be using this beautiful purple, this blue right here, so these two shades, and then this pretty gray silver color up here. So I'm going to start off with using that same brush, and I'm going to pick up that purple shade on the brush, and I'm just going to tap off any of the excess. And I'm going to place this right over top of that purple shadow, and this is just going to help define and really make this purple shadow pop. Now I know this look is a lot more bold than the other Disney looks that I've been doing. I really wanted to make this one fun because this character is really bold. She has a really bold look, and I really didn't want to play it down too much. So if you're not comfortable wearing something like this into public, this would be great for a Halloween costume or a costume party of anything really. Somewhere that you needed to really dress up and kind of go crazy. Or if you're like me and just don't care and like pulling off bold looks, then this would be something you would enjoy wearing. Or at least I know once I went ahead and did this, I really enjoyed it, and I love doing bold looks like this. And I haven't done a bold look in a really long time, except for that 90s grunge, but that to me wasn't really bold. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the blue color. So for the blue color, I'm going to be using, again, the Color Tattoo 24 Hour by Maybelline, and I'm going to be going in with the shade, this is number 40, Tenacious Teal. So it's this pretty teal color. And to start off with, I'm going to be using, again, an angled definer brush, but this is going to be a different one. Do not use the same one. So I'm just going to be picking up some of that product on this. And take your time and really carve out underneath that purple. So again, I'm starting on the inner corner, and I'm just placing that right on the inner corner and bringing it back out. And then I'm going to go upwards with it, right up underneath that purple, and really carve it out. Now this color is a lot more pigmented right off the bat than that purple is. You don't need as much to build it up quick. But really take your time to really carve it out, because you really want the defined. It's all about angles. You really want to make it defined. And I want to apologize to anybody that watched that, the Chirp Cosmetics, where I said that I was going to be doing Medusa. I don't know why I was thinking her name was Medusa. It's Ursula, but I think what I was doing was thinking of the last really bold, more colorful Disney character that I did. So for some reason I was thinking of Medusa, Madame Medusa, instead of Ursula. So I did know what I was talking about. I was thinking in my mind of the right character. I just mentioned the wrong name. So now that I have this carved out like this, you can go ahead and put that blue shadow away. So now going back with that purple, now that I have these cream shadows put down, going back with that brush that we used for the purple, I'm going to pick up that purple color in that palette, and I'm going to go right over top of that purple that I placed there and really make that bold. And this is just going to help set the cream shadow as well, so they don't really blend together, that they really stay their own. And I'm just going to define that purple color. And now for the blue shadow, I'm going to be taking a flat shadow brush, and I'm going to be picking up that pretty metallic-y teal color in the palette, and I'm going to be placing that all in the blue. Just being careful when I bring it up under the crease. And I'm just patting it. And really pressing that in there. So I have something that looks like this. Now, of course, the top line is really, really jagged, so to tone that down and really blend it out, I'm going to be taking that silver gray shade from that Coscelia palette, and I'm going to just slightly over top, not all the way over top, but just at the very top edge, start to blend that purple and gray together and smoke it out upwards. Just rubbing that back and forth and really blending them together. So it's starting to look more like the other side. It's not as harsh. And the silver and the purple go really pretty together, I find. So once you have them blended together, then I just go back with just a little bit more on that angled brush and then just kind of redefine closer to the blue so that they do look really separated. Like so. Then I'm going to be taking this flat definer brush, and this is where it's going to get fun. If you guys watched that Chirp video I placed up yesterday, then you will see me talk about their shadows, and I'm going to be using their shadow in Lilac. So I'm just going to pick up some of this product. And I'm just putting it on a smudger brush because I find this worked really well. And I'm going to go right underneath that brow bone, and I'm going to use this lilac color for my highlight all underneath my brow bone. The reason I chose lilac is because of Ursula's skin, you know, purple. It's got like that purple gray tinge, and I think the lilac works really pretty as a highlight for this look. So now that this is all set, I'm going to take my liquid eyeliner. So the one I'm using is the NYX eyeliner, or not the NYX, the NYC eyeliner. And following that tape line, I'm going to start on the outer edge, right up to where the purple stops. And I'm just making a pen line, nothing more. And then I'm just going to do a straight line across the lash line. And the reason I'm doing this is just to help with to ensure that the eyelash band is going to be nice and blended with my eyelashes. So now that I've got my eyeliner on, I can put away this as well. And I'm just going to give this a few seconds to dry before I peel that tape off, just so that it doesn't smudge. And then I'm going to clean up the under eye, and we're going to highlight the inner corner. Oops. So I'm just going to start off taking the tape off by the bottom. Oops. And pulling that away. And to clean up my under eye, I'm going to be taking, where did I set it? Just a brush, and because I already have my foundation on, I'm just going to brush all underneath this and really get rid of any of the fallout. Like so. I'm going to be grabbing this angled fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to be dipping into that Lilac by Chirp Cosmetics eyeshadow as well. Again, picking some of that up, and I'm just going to buff that all in the inner corner. Blending it in with that purple shadow that we have, purple and blue shadow in the inner corner. And this is just going to highlight the inner corner. So next I'm going to place on my lashes. So I'm going to start by using a curler, eyelash curler. And I'm just going to curl my natural lashes. And this will just help them to blend in with your falsies, because we are going to be doing something a little bit more dramatic and different today when it comes to false lashes. As always, I'm going to be using my clear lash and brow gel from Essence to make sure I separate my natural lashes and really coat them so that the other mascara will go on nice and smoothly and not allow for clumping. So while that's still drying, I'm going to go in with the Lash Princess False Lash Effect by Essence. This has really been my favorite mascara. Even, this is a drugstore mascara. I think I paid like $3 something for it. And I'm loving this even more so than my X-rated mascara by Smashbox that I just got. And that's like a $30 mascara. I think the reason I like this is the formula is a lot lighter wearing than the Smashbox, and the wand is a lot thinner. So for me, who has next to no lashes, I find it a lot easier to apply on my eyelashes than the Smashbox, which has a much thicker applicator. So I just did a quick coat on the top. Now, for my false lashes, I'm going to be using the Lulu lashes that I just purchased, and that's in my haul video as well. And they look like this. Now, the only thing I can say about this company, I'm disappointed. They don't have a name or a style or a number or anything to indicate them. They just have the different lashes. But I am in love with these lashes. I hate to say it, but I love these more than my Ardell lashes. They are pretty much a dupe for Ardell, except they are cheaper and they are a lot lighter on the eyes. And even anybody that's worn Ardell lashes knows that Ardell lashes are really light. Wearing on your eyes, you don't feel like anything's sitting there. And these are even lighter. So that says something to me. I'm just going to trim up. They have a little bit extra on the outer corners, so I'm just going to trim that away. Another thing I like about the Lulu ones is they fit right perfect to my eyes. I don't have to do any trimming. So now that I have that there, I'm just going to grab them with my tweezers and put on some lash glue. Any lash glue works. If you're looking kind of for a dupe for the Duo, I'm using the QO. So it's cheaper than the Duo lash glue, but essentially they all work relatively the same way. Just some are more expensive and some smell a lot worse. Okay, an anticipated issue here. It got a little bit clogged. There we go. And And then it all decided to come out in one big goop. Sorry. So I'm just putting a thin layer from the top to the bottom. And I always make sure there's a little extra on the outer corners just because that's where most lashes have trouble sticking from the very first time. You're not supposed to blow on them, but I'm going to speed up the process. So while I'm waiting for that, I'll just tell you which other lashes I'm using. I'm using the Shani Cosmetic lashes. These are the set number 1, number 2, and I've just trimmed them into different sections. I split each eyelash into 3 parts so that I could use the 2 center parts for accents on the top and the 2 outer corners for accents on the bottom. So I'm going to place this eyelash on, and then I'm going to go and put those on off camera, and I'll be right back. So just give me 1 second, I'll show you putting this one on. So for my main lashes, I always put them right in the center to start. You really got to make sure your lash glue is really tacky before you do this. And then I use my fingers to place the outer corner, and then grabbing the inner corner and press that on as well. And of course it's going to give me trouble. So it'll look something like this. And then you can just use your tweezers and go back in and make sure it's really adhered to your natural lashes. So I am going to do the rest of them, and I'll come back just so that I'm not wasting your time. But all I'm using is a chunk like this as an accent on the outer corner, and then a smaller piece to create the lower corner. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So the only thing I did off camera was place the second lash on top. So it was just a lash that I took and cut into 3 parts and used the section of the middle part to place on top of the lashes that I just put, just for a little extra flare and fullness on the outer corner. So what I'm going to do next is grabbing a smudger brush. I like this one. This is the Vera Mona one that I got in my Ipsy bag. I'm going to start by grabbing that purple shadow that I placed on top of that other shadow, so the powdered shadow out of the palette, and I'm going to smudge this all under my lower lash line in my lashes. And just really take that back and forth, darkening it up. And so you should have something like this, and then to really give it that little extra flare, I'm going to go over top of it and slightly under it with that blue shade from the palette. And just completely smoke that out all under the lash line. Like that. Now to accent the waterline, I'm going to be using this eyeliner, and this is the Endless Silky Eye Pen by Pixi, and this is in the shade Oyster Glow. So it's a pretty pearly oyster color, which is perfect for this look because, you know, we are dealing with the Little Mermaid under the sea theme. So I'm just going to coat the entire waterline with that color, and that's just going to help brighten the eyes and keep them remaining looking open. And then I'm going to go in with this other Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pen, and this is in the shade Black, and just the outer quarter of my eye, I'm going to place some of this liner right there in my lash line. And I'll tell you why in a second. So I'm just going to place it right on the outer corner. Now I'm going to go in with my mascara and coat my lashes. And of course it's going to smudge underneath. Hopefully I'm not blocking the camera, sorry guys. So once your lashes have a coat of them, that smaller chunk that I cut off that looks like this, of course I would drop it. Pick it up with my tweezers. It'll be a little bit easier for you guys to see because it's tiny. So it looks like this. It's just a little accent piece that I cut off of those Shiny Cosmetics, and I'm going to place it right there. And I'm going to place this right blending in with the black eyeliner that I just used, and that's why we placed it there. It'll help camouflage the band of the lashes so that it makes it a lot less noticeable. If I didn't have that there, you would definitely notice that it's sitting there. I mean, nothing about this look says subtle at all, but, you know, if we can blend things in a little bit better so they're not sticking out like a sore thumb, that's the whole point. So I'm just going to place a little bit of that same eyelash glue on that band and allow for it to dry. And when doing this, I always go underneath your natural eyelashes on the lower lash line. It will be a little bit tricky, like when you first try it for the first time, it can be a little tricky getting the proper positioning of it and getting used to the feel of it. It is a lot different than having eyelashes on your top lash line, but after a minute it goes away and you forget that they're there. So once that's good and tacky, I'm going to go right up underneath and place that right in. Oh, that's kind of what you have to be careful with as well, that it's not going to get stuck with your other eyelashes. So it takes a few seconds to kind of separate them and make sure the glue is not going to stick to one another and cause you any issues. And of course my eyes are going to start to water. And once it dries and sets, it's not going to be as much of a pain. So you should have something that looks like this. I think it's neat because it kind of, the way it corners in the eyes, in the outer corner with the lashes, it almost looks like the outer corner of a fishtail. Again, perfect for this look. I'm just going to allow that to dry and really set. And once it dries and sets, it will stay there. But it'll take a few minutes to set and get accustomed to it being there. It can be uncomfortable for a few minutes. I've had this one on for a little bit longer and I don't notice it anymore, but this one's just freshly on there, so I'm noticing it a little bit more than the other one. Now that I have the entire eye look done, I am going to take that brush again and then just make sure all the fallout is wiped away. Like so. And I am going to go back in one more time. I'm just noticing it now. With that fluffy blending angled brush and pick up some more of that lilac color from Chirp and place that on the inner corner. Just for a little extra highlight. And I like it, but it's not quite light enough for my taste. So, excuse me for a second while I find the one that I'm looking for. That's the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to be picking up their other eyeshadow, and this is in the color Song. And I'm just going to place some of this, it's more of a pink color, in the lid. And I'm just going to pick that up with that same brush, making sure to tap out the excess, and I'm going to place that in the inner corners. And this is just going to highlight it a little bit more. That's what I mean. It'll give it a little bit more of a highlight. That lilac color is pretty, but it's just not bright enough. It was kind of dampening the inner corner highlight. So you should have something that looks like this for your eye look, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And I'm just going to brush a little bit more of that on the top there too, just to lighten it a little bit. So you should have that. Next we are going to move on to the cheeks. So I'm really going to go bold with this look. You can use a peach, a nude blush, you know, pretty much any color besides really hot pinks or anything like that. Just do you when it comes to the blush. And then go in with any color of lipstick. But I'm going to stick with the purple and blue shades. And I'm going to really go all out for this look. I'm going to be picking up this palette. This is the City Color palette that I purchased off of Amazon not too long ago. And I'm going to be picking up this pretty lilac color right here. And I'm going to be using that eyeshadow as a blush, because I do not own any purple blushes at all. It's not typically a color that I use. I do have the lilac one from BH, but it's not as purple as I want it to be. So I'm just going to put a light flush of this on my cheeks. And it looks a little bit more pinky, so I'm going to go with that little bit darker color underneath. There we go. And really put this purple color all over the cheekbone. I did not contour today because, for any of you that know who Ursula is, she's a bigger woman. She's got a lot of extra oomph everywhere, so she's not skinny and chiseled and structured. You know, she's got the whole double chin thing going on, so it works perfect with me for this look today. I don't have to contour. So again, I'm just starting on the cheekbones and blending up towards the hairline with this color. And this is actually turning into a really pretty blush color for this look. It really complements everything else that we have on the face. So you should have something that looks like this. I'm just going to blend a little bit more so it's not so dramatic. Just really blend that out. That was actually a really pretty choice for blush. Next, I'm going to be using the shadow, that lilac shadow, in a more unconventional way, and I'm going to be using it as a highlighter on my cheekbones. So for this, I'm just going to pat some of it in my hand because the lid is not big enough to fit my brush in. And I'm going to be using the regular brush, my regular highlighter brush. This is the Luxie 522 tapered highlighting brush. I'm going to pick up some of that lilac color, tap off the excess, and I'm going to place this right on top of those cheekbones. And the reason, again, I picked the lilac is because of the skin color of Ursula. It's that more muted purple gray color. So I thought, why not stick with those colors for this look? And I'm actually really enjoying it. Again, this look's not for everybody. Some people would not choose to wear something like this out into the public. Me, it does not bother me. But if this is not for you, you can stick with the color tones, like the blues and purple eyeshadows. They complement each other well, and just not go as high and bold and dramatic. I mean, I do these looks so that you guys can take what I've done and use some of the tips and tricks and just kind of make it work for you. So now that we have that there, I'm going to grab a little bit of it and highlight my Cupid's bow. And grab a little bit of the song too and mix it in for the Cupid's bow. Like so. And last but not least, that is really on there. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to be doing the lips. So for my lips, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild Color Icon lip liner, and this is in the shade 666 Brandy Wine, sorry. And I'm going to be lining my lips with this. So again, I start at the top. Oops. And create that X. And oh my goodness. Like so. And then just bring it in a little bit onto the lips. I'm over drawing a little bit just to kind of get a really more defined Cupid's bow and lips for this look, because it is a cartoon character. Like so. So now that I have my lips lined, I'm going to be using two colors on my lips. So the first thing I'm going to go in with is this NYC Smooch Proof liquid lipstick. Now, unfortunately, they do not have the color names, but it has the number 2 on the bottom, so I'm hoping that's the shade number 2. But they do not tell you at all on these what color it is. So I'm placing this closer to my inner lip. Trying to give it a little bit of a two-tone color, because Ursula normally has red lips. I wanted to go with something a little bit different, because I find that I was looking back on my videos and a lot of the Disney characters have red lips. So rather than do red lips, I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to use that pink color on the inner part of my lips and go on the outer corner, outer half of my lips with this new lip gloss that I've got. This is the Manna Beauty Simplified Lip Locked Priming Gloss Stain. That's a mouthful. And this is in Manna Babe. And then I'm just going to finish off the top lip. Like so, and somehow I've gotten this all over myself, but there we go. So this is the final look. The only thing I'm going to do is set it with a makeup setting spray. I'm going to be using the Hard Candy Fast and Fabulous makeup setting spray to do so. And just give myself a good dose with that and allow it to dry. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like these tutorials, these Disney tutorials, please give this video a huge thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, I hope you do so for more fun looks like this. And please leave your comments and all your fun thoughts and what you'd like to see next from me in the comment section below. Everything that I've used today will be in the description box. Thank you for watching, and until next time, guys, remember to inspire and be inspired. Bye!